Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about leadership for my organizational behavior class, Management 3350. First I wanted to bring up Jeff Bezos. He just stuck out to me as a leader for his leadership style, and he is the CEO of Amazon. And the reason that stuck out to me was I use Amazon a lot, and I like the way the website's set up. I like how fast I get my items. I basically just like how it worked as a business. And so I wanted to see how that all started. And it really was based off of Jeff Bezos' vision and his leadership style. And so that really stuck out to me as just not just a shopper, but as a student, seeing how well that he ran his business and still running his business, this billion-dollar corporation. First off, I want to start with how online shopping has definitely become a major retail source for a lot of people. It's convenient, and Jeff Bezos knows that, and he knew that whenever he started Amazon. And it was very important to him about his business that he is successful with it. And he actually started, he knew he had a love for technology very young, and he actually built a lab in his parents' garage, his mom and his stepdad's garage. Whenever they moved to Miami, Florida, he was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And even at the young age, he still, whenever they moved, he built that lab because he was just so interested in learning how things worked and how they operated. And that really stuck out to me as well. So you knew from the beginning that he was most likely going to be successful in life because he was just so curious. And I think that's another leadership style actually that he has, just curiosity and wanting to know how things worked. And he actually even started his first business when he was just a teenager. He was still in high school. He actually started a summer camp for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, and it was a summer camp for educational purposes. So he wants more people to learn as well, and he wants them to benefit from it. And as a leader, he actually graduated from Princeton University, graduated with honors, and he immediately just went into the world of finance. Even though he graduated with computer science and software engineering degree from Princeton, he went in to become actually the youngest vice president of D.E. Shaw, which is a financial firm on Wall Street. So he was super successful right out of the gate. And that was just in finance. So he already had that finance background going, as well as that technology background, and he definitely put those to work. And although he knew it was risky, he actually quit his job from D.E. Shaw as the vice president, and he started working on Amazon, which was actually originally a bookstore. He just wanted an online bookstore, and this was about the time whenever the .com was taking off, and just internet in general was taking off. And so he knew it was a risk, but he definitely took it. And he immediately had success with Amazon. They actually had no publicity for it, but he was determined to get that bookstore online, ready to go. And he knew that from the start he wasn't going to make a lot from the get-go because, he had to get it going. But it led him to Amazon.com, led him to just Amazon, the corporation, and that's really where it started for him as a leader. And he already had, the background of finance and technology, so that really helped him. And he had a simple vision. It was basically the customer is always right, which is something that I admire as a customer, and as well as being a current or a previous manager for a corporation. It really is, customer is always right, and he definitely took that to heart. And that was his typical slogan. And actually, a lot of his executives, if you go and have a meeting with his managers at Amazon, then they will tell you Bezos, that's his policy, is the customer is always right. And he actually has this concept of the empty chair. If you go to one of his meetings, that's his chair for the customer. And that was something that I thought a really good leader would do, is if, that customer's at the meeting, then the customer could answer the questions and wouldn't just be a manager. They would be, firsthand the customer. And it's using this leadership style that's why Amazon has been so successful, and that's why they've been able to, deviate a little bit and just really keep growing. And I admire that about Bezos, is that he sticks to that and really just kept to that policy. And his leadership style has definitely a sense of risk. Even just like I said, like at the beginning of his career for Amazon, it was a risky move to quit his job, but he knew that's what he wanted to do, and he started it, and it was super successful. But there is a level of risk. In 2007, the Kindle was released from Amazon to the public, and Bezos just believed that his customers would want a crisp ebook to download a book within a minute, if not less. And that's what he believed that they wanted. And not everyone agreed, but he knew he had a feeling that that's what his customer base would want. And so that was all the way back in 2007. Tablets were just coming out, and he wanted to kind of jump on that. And one thing that really stuck out to me was that one of his financial officers wanted to ask, how much are you willing to spend on this project? And Bezos just turned around and said, how much do we have? And so he really just took it all in, and that's what he does. And one quote that he says that really stuck out to me as well. We are comfortable planting seeds and waiting for them to grow into trees. We don't focus on the optics for the next quarter. We focus on what is going to be good for the customer. I think this aspect of our culture is rare, and that whole quote just stuck out to me from Bezos because it's definitely true. We, as a society, like things here and now, and that's just kind of become our way. And so I definitely agree with him. I do think that aspect is rare about how we want to see things. We don't really, see how things get there. We see the here and now. And whenever he said that, it was mainly for the Kindle whenever he was making it. And that was something that stuck out to me, is that he is not afraid to allow his corporation to continue to grow. And if it takes time, then it takes time. And all it requires is patience. And he definitely took that to heart whenever he was making the Kindle. It was a huge success. People still purchase them today. They have Kindle Fire, they have different editions, and he definitely took that. So took it and ran with it. So that's definitely something I admired about his leadership style. And then once again, he continues to purchase these major, retailers. And that was also his latest purchase, which was Whole Foods. And that was actually last year in 2017. And it was late August. So he just recently made that purchase, and they're already coming up with different concepts, different ideas. Mainly, he was looking forward to purchasing this because of the patterns that you could get out of the grocery shoppers. So the typical grocery shopper at Whole Foods actually has a disposable income of $1,000, according to surveys. And he wanted to see, first of all, that's profit. It's definitely profit. And after all, it is a business. So the business side of his leadership definitely showed there, as well as he wanted to see the patterns that come with a typical grocery shopper. So he could get those patterns and see what works for them, and then continue to grow Whole Foods. And so he's definitely a CEO about all growing and continuing and, expanding on what society is wanting. And once again, they're starting different concepts with that. They have Amazon, they have a fresh food, which is basically you just go in, you scan what you want, and you pay for it right then and there, and you just kind of pick up your groceries. And once again, that's society saying the here and now thing. And of course, Jeff Bezos and his colleagues figured that out, and it's been a super success so far. But they did purchase Whole Foods at $13.7 billion, and even though that was a huge purchase, it's already been successful. And it's definitely his leadership skills that have gotten him that far, as well as his colleagues. And although it is easy to do with Bezos' set of rules for leadership, as the customer is always right, Amazon is a business after all, which once again, that's why he purchased Whole Foods, or one of the reasons that he purchased it. So, and that's another thing, he keeps every single aspect in line for it. He keeps the income of the business as well as the customer satisfaction. He ties those two together, which is something I admire as a customer. The last of his many conceptual ideas in leadership style is giving back to the community as well for the organization. He started Amazon Smile. He has done contracts with, or not really even contracts, he's actually just helped out Goodwill as well. Whenever disaster strikes, they get a percentage. Amazon Smile works the same way. They get a percentage when a certain URL is typed in, which is it's great. It's very convenient for both the organization as well as the foundation that they partnered with. And those are the many reasons why I think Jeff Bezos is a leadership to look upon for guidance, because he's just been super successful and he has the idea of society in his head. And whenever he's conducting business, that's what he does, is he lets things grow as well. He's not afraid to take risks, which I think that's something, just depending on the business, is something to admire for a business owner. And he has just become a super successful leader, and I will definitely continue to, look on his rules and his policies about forming that business and keeping that going for society. Thank you guys for listening.